over the next several months, we're helping you get back to business in a series called The Rebound Las Vegas. The pandemic has put a lot of locals out of work. The latest unemployment rate sits at 14% for July, and that's according to the Nevada Department of Employment Training and Rehabilitation. And as 13 Action News works to help you rebound from the pandemic, we want to put extra emphasis on jobs. 13 Action News anchor Trisha Keene looks at the pitfalls you want to avoid during your next job interview.
I do digital marketing. So it's an agency that helps a whole bunch of different industries.
Miguel De La Riva Espino recently started a new job. He says during an early phone call about the position, he had to answer a lot of questions before he was asked to go in for an interview.
Right away, she put me on the spot. She asked me, is this job too far away from you? These are the roles, the things you're going to be doing every single day. Are you comfortable with that?
Miguel says he did his research, so when the time came, he was prepared.
Basically, when I went into the interview, I felt like I was on level with the hiring managers, and I felt really confident.
Job placement experts say, be like Miguel.
You want to be very present in the interview and focused.
Sonia Petkewick is CEO and founder of the staffing and recruiting company, Taurean Consulting. She says there's 4 common mistakes people are making when it comes to interviews. Number 1, they're not practicing their answers.
Go to the mirror, interview yourself. What are my strengths? Well, my strengths are this. My weaknesses, like get it out of your system, like say it out loud a few times.
Sonia says you don't want to sound rehearsed, but you don't want to be thinking up an answer at the last minute either. Number 2, if you're nervous, acknowledge it.
They want the authentic you. They don't want someone who's faking for the job. So if you are nervous, it's okay. Let them know. I'm sorry. I'm nervous.
Number 3, if your interview is virtual, set everything up ahead of time. She says one particular job candidate recently learned that lesson the hard way when they started having last-minute connection issues.
So they started saying a bunch of expletives. They were frustrated with themselves in the process, but they didn't realize that the microphone was on, and so the manager hears that.
Also, be sure to acknowledge if you have any concerns, like your dog possibly barking. Sonia says employers understand.
I had someone who just shut off the camera because they were so embarrassed that the dog was barking, and then the interview just went sideways.
In the end, Sonia says be sure to dial in at least 5 minutes early. You never want to keep the employer waiting. Finally, number 4. Always ask questions.
The interview process always ends with questions, and that's where I think some of the magic happens. I think people miss that, or they say, I don't have questions, and that's not engaging. That means you're not really as invested in learning about the opportunity as they are in learning about you.
For 13 Action News, I'm Trisha Keene.
Those are some very helpful tips. Well, now